Armstrong provided a turning point in my life. Prior to going to Armstrong, I was on the way to become a music teacher. I had enrolled in Savannah State College at the time, and I was a music education major. I had played in the high school band at Beach High School, and I enjoyed it so much until I thought that that would be a fun career to have. But then the civil rights struggle took a turn in Savannah in 1963, and I became involved in that, and as a part of that effort, desegregating Armstrong became a goal, and I became a tool to make that happen. Well, I was the first African American to attend Armstrong, and it became evident that Armstrong couldn't remain an all-white institution in Savannah. On a Sunday, the Sunday before summer quarter registration, I received a call to come to the campus. And I came over to the campus, and they told me that I would be admitted and that they were taking certain precautions for my safety and to hold down disturbances, and that they would pre-register me, and all I would have to do would be to select my courses and then come to school on the first day. The courses that I wanted were at night, and so they cordoned off the campus, had state troopers there, had a fire truck and everything there on the first day of class. I was picked up by a cab because my parents didn't have a car, I didn't have a car. They took me to the campus. I went through the barricades and into the campus and to the class, and that was the beginning. The president of the university never welcomed me. I don't know if I should have expected that or not, but I wasn't welcomed by the president. I had great support from the director of admissions and from Dean Kaloran, who was the dean at the time. They were very supportive and encouraging. And I also had faculty members who were very encouraging, like Austin Beecher was very encouraging. Matter of fact, he taught the philosophy class that I took the first term that I was there. And there were others. But then you could sense from other instructors during that year I was there that they didn't particularly like the idea that I was there, but they couldn't do anything about it. In terms of the students, I describe it as receiving the invisible man treatment. Ralph Ellison wrote a book entitled Invisible Man, and he describes how black people sometimes feel that they are really seen. And because the president and the regents had instructed students not to cause any problems, and if they did, they would be expelled, they just sort of ignored me as I came to class and left class. Because it was a commuter college, we were all going and coming, and it was a much different atmosphere had it been a residential college where I was on the campus and isolated, but I wasn't isolated. I had a strategy that we worked out about sitting in class, and I took that to the University of Georgia when I went there after leaving Armstrong with an associate degree. And that is to pick your seat, get there early, claim your seat, and then others as they come have to sit around you, and you don't step on anybody's toes or get into any hassle about a seat. So I employed that strategy, and for the first 2 semesters, that summer semester and the fall semester, I was like an invisible man. They had a group on the campus called the SDS, Students for Democratic Society, right? They were the radicals. And of course, being white radicals, they saw identifying with me as something to further their cause. And they began to slowly come and talk, and then we started having lunch together and stuff like that. And many of them transferred on to the University of Georgia, as I did, because that was the pattern. You got your associate degree from Armstrong, and then you went on to Georgia. That's what I did. And that is another story in and of itself. But the last 2 quarters, and I was there for 4 quarters, the last 2 quarters, I had some partners, so to speak, of the radical whites who were on campus. Armstrong did not have a venue large enough to hold graduation ceremonies, so they rented the ballroom at the old DeSoto Hotel, one of the magnificent buildings in historic Savannah at the time. And this was before they had the desegregation of public accommodations. So here I go with my grandparents to graduation, and there were a few other blacks there. But that was the first time I'd ever been in that building, and I know it was the first time my parents, when I called my grandparents, my parents had ever been there, and it was one of the proudest moments of their lives to see me graduate from Armstrong and to be graduating in that building. So that's a very fond memory.